In this video I want to show you how to fade FX in a programmed Q stack. This is not meant for busking shows, this is really meant for programmed shows where you program all your Q stacks, or in timecode shows, so more meant to people who work with tracking also. What I want to talk about is the following. So natively this is not supported to be able to fade parameters like width or the size or the speed from one queue to another in FX. So let's have a look at this one. So in my first queue, in this one, I have an FX running at a width of 50%, and in my second I want to have the same FX running at 30%, but I want it to fade in between both queues. If I press a go now, you can see that little glitch. So even if I do fade in and fade out times, it's because the new FX is going to start where the other FX is going to release. And I want to avoid this little glitch. So I found the following trick. Let's go to this queue stack and go to my queue. As you can see, in my first queue I have the FX programmed with the width of 50%, and I want to smoothly reduce it to 30% in 5 seconds of time. First I'm going to show you how to reduce speed in a queue stack. So I have my first queue running here, and in my second queue I want to reduce the speed from 120 BPM to 60 BPM in 10 seconds. This is quite easy. So all I did is tracked queue, so I'm tracking the FX, and I add a queue stack macro which is called C9L50/10, which means select playback 9, set fader level to 50 in a fade time of 10 seconds. So in my Q2 I'm just going to change my color also. So if I press this now, as you can see, I have my color coming in, and you can see that my speed master is going from 120 BPM to 60 BPM in 10 seconds. That's one thing. Now in my Q3 I'm going to change color again, but I also want to have this exact FX here, changing the width from 50% to 30% in 5 seconds. Let's try. I'm going to press go. You see my color is changing, and here you can see that my width is changing smoothly without restarting the FX. So how can we achieve this? It's made with a macro and QStat macros. Let's go have a look at the macro and close this. So basically it's my macro M15. If I go into view data now, you can see first steps are double click on QStack on playback 8 to open the QStack options. So I'll show you how I did it. Double click on this, then I go to this soft button, view queue. Then I want to go to Q1 where my FX is programmed, so I press 1 and unlock window. Then I press view FX and I get to my queue in view FX Q1. And then I just recorded my encoder C, which is controlling the width in this window, and I changed the parameters of my encoder by decreasing my encoder. Once I've done this, all I need to do is to change the timing of all the encoder presses, so in total it makes 5 seconds here. Then I set the timing to internal timecode, so it will work in 5 seconds. Let's do it again. Open the visualizer here. Here's what it is. My width is here, so I set back the width of this to 50%. Run QStat1, so Q1 is my FX running with a 50%, and I'm just going to set the speed back to 120 BPM. So then Q2 is changing color red and decreasing the BPM from 120 to 60 BPM using a QStack macro. And in my Q3, I also use a QStack macro which triggers my macro number 15. So let's go. Here I have now my width changing in 5 seconds from 50 to 30%. Again, this is a workaround, it's a trick. It's not maybe useful for everybody, but for people who are looking for programming shows and need fine-tuning, this is the best workaround I found. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. See you next time.